So the Kazi is here at the workshop and it's time to dive into it. But first, let's take a walk around so I can show you all the cool details of this specific 1993 Ford Escort Cosworth. Let's start with the interior. This is the Luxe package that has the full leather seats. And like I think I've said before, we've got to get these redone because some people might call this patina, but I think they're a little bit worn out. And I'd like to get these fresh before we sell it. And these are original Recaro seats, which is super cool. Even the back has the leather seats as well. Now up here, we've got the steering wheel, which is the 3-spoke steering wheel. And this one is kind of rare. It's a very unique style. This one looks so much cleaner than the different ones I've seen in other Kazis. Now for 95 and newer, they have the airbags and they're way uglier with those here. So this is like the perfect steering wheel for this car. Another thing to notice is the clock. If you look on most Kazis out there and you research it, these clocks die so quickly. The pixels go out and it's almost impossible to find replacements. So this one's got a good working clock. Now, if I go over here, check this out. This actually has auto leveling headlights. Something super rare. Of course, nowadays, all the crazy LED stuff automatically levels, but you can adjust the height of the headlights with this knob right here. And everything else you can see, we've got very, very clean shift knob. We've got our power windows, our trunk, and we've got seat heaters in these factory Recaros, which is pretty cool. I do need to get a radio installed, so I got one of those waiting. And this car also does not come with AC, neither does my white one, so, you know, whatever. Indiglo gauges weren't just for your Honda Civic in the late 90s. This came stock and normal on the Kazi. Let's look at these things. Indiglo, we got all those gauges, plus all these performance gauges up here. And those are in great condition. These things tend to be a little bit dilapidated as well. So these are perfect condition. Everything about this interior is actually really, really nice. Now, if you're looking to open up the sunroof because you want to get some extra air as you're cruising down the street, listening to probably your Tupac, maybe some, I don't know, maybe Billy Idol, something from the 90s, all you got to do is turn this. This thing right here is the old school rotating handle to either crack your sunroof open like this or slide the thing back. Probably don't want to break this handle though. I'm sure it's pretty pricey. So yeah, a little old school right there, a little crank wind sunroof. And this is even one of my more fun things. You're sitting back here, you probably got your kids back here, maybe some of your friends. You're cruising through the streets of London or Europe somewhere, got your something stored back there, and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to smoke. There's no ashtray. But guess what? The driver's side rear seat, it's got an ashtray. And this is something that always gets people when I'm like, hey, can you pop the hood? They immediately want to look for the latch. And guess what? There's no latch down there. It's actually underneath the steering column. Another thing you probably don't want to break. Now, if you've been following me on TikTok or Instagram, there's been some comments by mainly Europeans that this is a bad boy bonnet. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically in the 90s, people did all types of weird things. And what they did was they added a piece of metal on here because this actually normally curves up. So they added this so it gives more of an eye line to the headlights. Actually did a really clean job, and I don't mind it. It looks really good. On my white one, it doesn't look like that, but I also have the Moret headlights. Now, what's funny about all these people talking about the bad boy bonnet, I hate that name, is that guess what? We used to buy these plastic eyeline things for Subarus and Evos from C West and other companies all the time. So it's not like this is something brand new that we've never seen before. Now let's check out this underneath the hood. This is the YB20 engine, and these things are stout. They can hold some serious boost pressure. All you got to do, upgraded head gasket, upgraded ARP head studs, and this thing can make 28, 30 pounds of boost all day long, but you need supporting mods, and this car already has it. We've got the green injectors, new map sensor, chip, which is an ECU flash, but you have to burn an actual EEPROM chip, so that's different. It does have the blow-off valve, which isn't a big deal. It's got some silicone hoses, stuff like that. Stock intercooler, I can see that piece hanging out there. And because this is an early version, which is the 1993, this is the big turbo version. It's got a forged wastegate, but you can see there, somewhere down there is the tag, and that is a T35 turbo. So the early model cars have the better ECU and the bigger turbo, and that's what you want when you're looking to buy a Kazi. Now, my white one has an upgraded intercooler because the stock intercooler only really sits behind this grille. It doesn't go that far down, where the upgraded intercoolers go much further. So that's something later on, if somebody wanted to, an upgraded intercooler, upgraded radiator, are good things to do on the car. You can see this also has a front strut bar, not stock. My white one doesn't have one either. I kind of like this. Maybe it'll be here, maybe it won't. I don't know when we go to sell the car, but it's really cool. I like that. And there's one in the trunk to match. Like I said, this car does not have AC. With the AC unit in here, it's a giant mess over here. There's barely any room for it. So much cleaner without it. And guess what? If you're driving this every day, you're a weirdo. It's not 1993 anymore. Some of the most notable characteristics of the Kazi are its super wide fenders. Yes, these are wide. And if you look at the back one too, that does flare out. So this is such a good angle of the car. We've got all the clear markers on here. Looks really good, very Euro, if you will. These tires are a little bit hammered, and they are 225/35 18s. You can see they're really low, like super low profile on there. We're going to do the same size I have in my white one, and that is a 225/40 18. So it'll be much taller tire. It'll look better, fill that gap in there. I don't believe this car is lowered. It does look like it does have Bilstein struts on there already, so that's good. That means it'll ride really nice. Of course, the most iconic thing of the Kazi is the rear wing. I think this car was designed by the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Stevenson himself. Find him on Instagram. I even had him like one of my photos a long time ago. This guy has designed some of the most iconic cars ever. Now, this car actually could come with just a basic lower spoiler or the big whale tail boomerang wing that you see here. And this is very unique to the Cosworth. The Sierra Cosworth had something similar. And of course, the Escort Cosworth is where it really is pronounced. There is another wing option, and that is from the WRC version. And that kind of looks like the STI wing, where it just kind of comes up like this and goes across. But usually most all Kazis, you're going to see this very traditional wing on it. So we see here, this thing has an exhaust. I believe it's just a cap actually. And this is a Scorpion exhaust. So it's not as loud as my white one. It is a little bit more tame. And obviously Euro plate, Cosworth badge. This thing actually, this is not factory. It used to have speakers in here, but I like this because the factory one just doesn't fit that well. And it has this crazy sunshade. That's cool. Very different. Again, the Lux package, right? So that is the tour. That's the walk around of the Kazi. Now, I kept on saying there's a couple things we need to do, and that's the seats. There's some dents and, of course, tires. And we're going to dyno it to see what horsepower it makes, make sure everything's good, give it a good detail, buff, polish, all that nice stuff. And then it's going to be ready to go up for sale.